Hi guys, this is Isabella, and today we are doing a tutorial of Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. I'm going to be playing Hermione Granger, and my dad is going to be playing Harry Potter. Okay, first thing I'm going to start off with is the locations, okay? Now, these locations have 2 in the first year, and it takes 4 villain controls, which are these, on it. Get 4 on here, over here, 4 on there, game over. Okay, the way you find these to appear is in your dark art event, which we will explain afterwards. For example, you must not be named. Add 1 villain control to the location. Okay, now these are 1 out of 2, and since it's year 1 we're using an example of, if you could notice here, this symbol, each turn reveal 1 dark art event. In other ones later on, there'll be more than 1 dark art event eventually. Okay, so I'm just going to put these here where they're supposed to go. And now, dark art events, okay? While playing, you will do these dark art events, and with these dark art events, you will have evil things. You do this before you play your go, or the villain's go, which I will soon explain. You have, in game 1, you must not be named. Flipendo, active hero loses a life and discards a card, which I will explain about health later. Expulso, lose 2 lives, and Petrification, all heroes lose 1 life and cannot draw extra cards at this turn. Active hero still draws 5 new cards at the end of their turn. So I will put these here, and this is where you would put them when done, and then just have a big pile. Now we're going to go on to villains. Now, with game 1, we have 3 villains. Quirinius Quirrell, lose 1 life. Crabbe and Goyle, each have a dark art event, like Petrification, causes you to lose discard a card. You would lose 1 life. And Draco Malfoy, each time villain control is added to the location, active hero will lose 2 lives. Now, Quirrell is on 6, which takes these attacks when you get them in either starter cards or hero cards, here, which we'll soon explain. Like, for example, if he had 6 all on him, he would be gone, and underneath says reward. Now, with his reward, all heroes gain 1 influence token, which allows you to buy things, but you have to throw them away at the end of your go, unless you save them up from another hero giving them to you, but only with cards, as they can't just say, oh, here, have mine. They have to be earned, basically. Same with the attacks. Okay, so then, for example, let's just put Draco here. Okay, now I'm going to explain about your health board. Now, on your health board, you will have 1 little heart. You put it on 10. When it goes all the way to stun, you're not out the game. You just go all the way back, and with add 1 to location. And with these starter cards, you will set out 5 and have to discard 2. Okay? Now, with the starter cards, you will have 7 spells, Alohomora, which gives you 1 influence token, a time to 2 items. Hermione's is a time turner, 1 influence token, which is 1 influence token, and I put spells I acquire on top of my deck instead of your discard pile. So if you bought something, which I'll soon explain, you will put it in your discard pile unless you have something like the time turner. Tales of Beetle the Bard, choose 1, 2 influence tokens, or all heroes gain 1. And then, so you would have 7 spells, 2 items, and 1 ally in your starter cards. Every hero has that, but they will be a bit different except for your Alohomora spells. Okay. Now we will tell you about the hero cards. Okay.
But firstly, Harry Potter. So it also has 7 spells, or Alohomora, which gain 1 influence. He has a Firebolt, which allows him to gain 1 attack. He has the item, the Invisibility Cloak.
Very powerful.
Which 1 gains him 1 influence, which is one of these, which helps you to buy things. But also, you cannot lose more than 1 life from each Dark Art event.
Let's just say this. Expulso, you lose 2 lives. So instead of losing 2 lives, if you have the Invisibility Cloak, you will only lose 1 life. So if you're on 10, instead of being on 8, you would only be on 9.
And the final card is an ally card, which is Hedwig, which is his loyal owl, for those that have seen Harry Potter. So you can either choose to gain an attack, which helps to take a life off the villain, or gain 2 life, which you can move up on your board if you believe you need some health.
So as I said, with Alohomora, that stays the same. Ally's ability stays the same. It's only just a different pet. It will always be a pet. And the items are the only things that are different. Because not all characters will have the Invisibility Cloak. Because, well, that would be a bit easy. And 2, it wouldn't make sense. Because Hermione never owned the Invisibility Cloak. Hero cards. So, as I was saying before, these influence tokens allow you to buy things. And as I said, you throw them away at the end of your go. You draw 6 here, and they have a value. Okay, so for example, Incendio, 4 tokens. So say I have 4. Now I would use it and then put it in my discard pile with all my other cards I've used at the end of my turn. Unless, like I said, I have the time turner, which lets me put it on the top. Okay.
So just to do a quick example from the start. So imagine it's Hermione Granger's turn. So we're in the Diagon Alley. We've just started. Hermione's now going to turn, or Isabella's going to turn her 5 cards.
So I'll just get on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Alohomoras.
So she has 5 Alohomoras. Well, before she can act, we must always do the Dark Art event first. So we turn the card, and in this case, Petrification. All heroes lose 1 life. So we all reduce 1 life from our health board.
Yes.
And we cannot draw extra cards. So we start with 5, but some cards will allow us to draw additional cards. However, this card prevents that, so we can only ever have 5 cards.
For example, Lumos right here. All heroes draw a card. No, you cannot.
The next thing is that if a location is added on the villain, lose 2 life. Well, there was no location added, so Isabella loses 1 life.
Depending on the game, you'll have 3 villains in some games. 1 in this year 1, and 2 in other. I don't think there are.
Okay,
2.
so now Isabella will use her 5 influence cards, or
Alohomoras, to get 5 influence
tokens.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these will go in my discard section, which I am actually going to put over here, even though you don't really. And with 5, I could buy anything, but right now I'm looking at Incendio for 4. So I will have Incendio, and then I didn't have the time turner, so it just goes in my discard pile, and now revealed is Repairer.
And any tokens that you have, these influence tokens you have left over, you just put them in the discard pile. The same with attack. If you have attacks on your board, which you don't use, at the end of your turn, you move them over.
Obviously, if you have like 8, and there were 2 things for influence values, you don't have to just buy 1. You can buy both of them if that was unclear.
Okay, and then you just go round and round. So we have 2 players, so then it would be Harry's go. So for Harry's go, we'll just demonstrate. You turn the dark art event, and it's another petrification. So we all lose a life, including the non-player, because at the moment Harry is the player. We go to the villain, no location, so that's fine. He turns the 5 cards for Harry. So we have 3 Alohomora, 4 Alohomora, 5 Alohomora. Perhaps we should have shuffled these.
Yes.
So with the 5...
Just an example.
With the 5 Alohomora, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think Harry... Well, I think we'll take the Quidditch gear, which gains an attack and a life. And I've got 2 left over, so I'll also pick up the Essence of Dittany, which any hero gains 2 lives. So that's all of my tokens used. Turn over the 2 new cards.
Leviosa and another Dittany.
And it goes back over to Hermione Granger's
Now,
turn.
since we didn't shuffle them, unfortunately, I will play it again. So it was unclear. Crookshanks, Beetle the Bard, Time Turner, Alohomora, and Alohomora.
Okay, so we turn the Dark Art Events card first.
Expulso.
So active hero loses 2 lives. So because it's active, that means Hermione Granger loses 2
And
lives.
I don't have any cloaks, so I'm just...
The villain card doesn't count in this case because there's no location added. So now Hermione gets to play her cards.
Okay, so Crookshanks, I get to use an attack, and I'm going to, on Mr. Malfoy. So now, instead of on 6, he is now on 5. I'm going to use Beetle the Bard for 2 tokens for myself. Time Turner, myself. I need to have a reminder instead of if spell-wise. So, those are my top. 2 Alohomoras, 1 and 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens again. I actually will buy a spell, and I will buy Reparo, so that can go on my top. Okay, and now I have 2 left over, so like my dad, I will buy Dittany, but that does not go on the top.
And then we turn the 2 cards over and just keep repeating and repeating and repeating until either the villain control has taken over, therefore we lose the game, or we're able to defeat all the villains by reducing their health to 0. I hope you liked the tutorial. So check out later because we're going to be posting each year of the Hogwarts battle.
From 1 to 7, and look out for a Magical Creatures one as well. Okay, bye.